Today's Wednesday, July 20th, 2016. You're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. Got a good show for you today, everybody. Stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Tom Seibert, and I am reporting to you, or doing the show as live as we can be, from the wonderful Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, where it is hot here. Man, it is summer has hit with a vengeance, and the next 3 days are going to be just really, really hot. We've been pretty lucky so far, so hopefully in your neck of the woods it's not so bad. And just as a reminder, I've been working in the shop, and it's hot, no air conditioning in there, and I have no problem working in the shop, but just make sure that you are taking the time to rest, to get a little bit of coolness, and to hydrate yourself so that you do not become impaired because of your working environment and your surroundings. So, and look out for other people as well, especially those that are older and might need a little bit more time to do projects and stuff like that and work on elevators. So this is show number 435, weeks July 20th, 2016. It's good to be here, and it is, it's just good to be alive, right? Next week there will not be a show. I'm going to be away on vacation with my family. I am looking forward to it. My wife actually last night at dinner asked me, just blank, point blank, said, are you going to be able to enjoy it? And I said, I sure as hell hope so. So it's one of those things where I'm going to try to get as unplugged as I possibly can. I don't know what's worse, coming home to like a billion emails or, trying to keep up with them every day. So I'm going to see. I think maybe on the plane I'm going to try to figure out which direction I'm going to go and to see how unplugged I can be. So I'll let you know how successful I am during that. During my adventure, because in some ways it's kind of nice just to keep up, but in other ways it's just a pain in the ass. It's like, geez, like our linked in society and our demand for inherent, I need it now. I need this done right away. I sent you an email, 10 minutes ago. Why haven't you responded? Kind of stuff. It just, the idea behind a vacation is you just kind of relax and unwind. So kind of not only recharge your batteries, but literally come back to work and to your family with kind of a whole refreshed perspective, which I'm looking forward to. So hopefully we'll do that. So leave tomorrow and come back the following Friday. And again, I'm not really worried about work at all. Just mainly the stuff that you come back to. So if you're trying to reach me next week, I won't be here. If you want to come rob my house, go do so. Don't have anything there. You got a killer attack cat that stayed in the house. So there you go. Warning, beware of, that's my disclaimer right there and then. So anyway, got a good show for you today. Some articles that I wish we were not covering on the program. Mainly because there were quite a few accidents on the show, and it was just like, oh man, another one, and so make sure you are doing your due diligence to ensure that you go home each and every day safely to your family. That's number one priority, and we all want to do that. We all want to make equipment that's safe. We want to make sure that we're inspecting equipment that's safe and taking unnecessary, not taking any unnecessary risks in our day job that might prevent us from doing so. So make sure you do that, especially as temperatures rise. So anyway, we'll get right into the news content of the show, and we should have you out of here in no time. So up next, news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Alrighty, first news article of today's show is an awesome one. As of like 6:20 last night or 6:40, the safetyriders.org website has been launched. So for many of you who have long anticipated the arrival of the Kids Online Interactive program, where the ESF has invested time, money, and thanks to everyone's support to make this happen, an online website that has trivia, puzzles, activity sheets for kids to really get more involved in. And that was probably one of the largest or biggest complaints from from the ESF supporters, was that the Safety Rider online flash widget or whatever we had over there just wasn't quite up to date. And we listened, and we took a good 2 years to get this thing to where it's at. So I don't want to hear anybody going, hey, that's it. Well, you know what? This is just the beginning of this program. The next step is pushing it into major cities, major areas where concentrations of the equipment that we deal with each day is pushed into parents, kids, and then we're going to start to tabulate the data on this as well. So we'll have more on that as we get that going, and we're pretty close to having the whole marketing package going to get the word out. So share the website if you can. It's new, it's refreshed, it shares the messages that we need to share. And in today's digital world, where Pokemon Go is all the rave, this is not that same level, but it definitely brings the foundation into the next generation of educating kids. So share this, link it on your website if you can, and we'll have more on this as we kind of unroll it. But just as a personal thank you, it's not an easy position to be on the board or be a chairman of the ESF or have been involved in this process for the start, which is probably close to 4 years ago. But we couldn't, the foundation could not have done this without the support from those that serve on the committee that help kind of craft this website, and also those that supported it not only through funding but through other means as well. So really thanks to everyone who made this happen. It was not an inexpensive endeavor, but one that has a result that we are truly reaching towards. And just so you know, for those of you that are concerned that there's no paper program, well, that is not true. The board did vote on making sure that there will be a paper program, not as involved or costly as the original one was, and but still it'll be available shortly to schools and teachers who still want to distribute and provide the program to the kids in their classroom settings. So anyway, so exciting news, and I'm glad to be one of the first to share that with you. So safetyriders.org, meet the two duo that are basically going to transform how education is shared amongst kids, and safety messages for elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Okay, some sad news to report from Cincinnati.com. Apparently a man was killed working on a University of Cincinnati elevator. He was ID'd. He was a contract worker performing maintenance last Friday at the Medical Sciences Building. Obviously, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the 20-year employee of Kone Elevator. And it's just tragic. I can't say it enough. There are more of these types of stories popping up than I would care to admit or read. And man, it's just, you got to remember, we are so used to being, working in the environments that we work in, that we really have to take steps to ensure that we're safe each and every day. If you take a look at my hands, I was out in the shop, literally I got Band-Aids all over the place. I'm on the back of my hand. I got wasn't wearing the proper gloves to prevent stainless steel from cutting my hands. And so, just stuff like that. I did have gloves on, but they were not thick enough, obviously. And when you're in a machine shop working, gloves are a no-no when you're on machinery. So you got to just slow down and stop thinking about the next 5 things you have to take care of and just focus on the one thing you do, so that you're doing it safe and you're not doing it haphazardly. Okay, so yeah, terrible accident. It was very sad to read this as it came across in the news blog atmosphere. Chicago Tribune reporting that firefighters freed 2 men who were stalled in a Waukegan coal plant elevator. Man, this is an outside elevator, and I believe temperatures were definitely warm, I should say, and glad to hear they're okay. And I guess to some degree it's a good exercise for the fire department. I'm sure they'll write a white paper on this, and in terms of how to deal with some type of a rescue like this. So glad they were okay, just a little dehydrated. I'm going to not link this one because it's going to pull something up, but if you are tired of politics, which, I kind of am, it's this one where Trump's son referred to our schools used to be an elevator to the middle class, and now they're stalled at the bottom floor. I think I don't want to get into politics here, but I think at the end of the day, I wish that there was more concrete or substantial, facts backing statements that are said like this. That's all I can say, because, I wouldn't doubt that this may not be true, but at the end of the day, I'm just, it's like you just throw something out like that, and the fact that we're referring to an elevator, I think education is very important. Don't get me wrong. I want all 3 of my boys to go to college, but if one of them chooses a trade, I will be just as proud of them for that. And the reality is that more and more kids that are coming out of college do not have jobs, and that is the true reality that scares the crap out of me. So education and the cost of it is extremely expensive, to the point where those that are graduating with student loans are in debt forever, it seems like. And you know what? Given my, giving other opportunities out there are some great trades out there that truly you can make a great living at. Being an elevator mechanic always pops up in the top 10, but there are other ones as well. So, it's just, I don't know. Just wanted to link that up. Again, not taking political sides whatsoever. I don't get in any fight with anybody. I'm not overly impressed with either candidate, but that's another discussion for another day. This is not a podcast. It's dedicated to to politics whatsoever. So don't send me hate email. Don't send me anything that you want to talk about politics. I'm not going to respond. Bottom line. If you'd like to send an email, feel free to do so. elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Okay, another tragic accident that occurred in a jail, and I don't think jail guards. Okay, talking about jobs that are well-paying and whatnot and good careers, I don't think a jail guard is necessarily one of those, but it's still a career, and it's still better than working, at minimum wage at Walmart or less than for part-time. Yeah, apparently a guard inmate take fatal plunge down elevator shaft. Apparently a corrections officer and an inmate smashed through an elevator door during a scuffle at the Pennsylvania jail and plunged down the elevator shaft to their deaths. Oh, man. Make sure you've got safety retainers on your doors. Make sure those gibs are secure. Make sure that that's one of the things you're checking. You put it on your checklist, and that way, if anything should ever happen, you have documentation as a contractor, as a maintenance provider, that you have checked it. You have actually, done something to verify that those doors are safe, because it's going to come up if something like this happens, and you do not want to have documentation. Now, it's a double negative that would speak to the contrary, that you've actually checked those gibs or whatnot. So, these kind of accidents are definitely preventable, although 150, 200, 300-pound people banging into a door may not be able to secure, door may not be able to take that, depending on where it's hit and the location and whatnot. But just still a terrible tragedy. Okay, next news article. Wall Street Journal has an article, kind of a repost or a writing ThyssenKrupp reimagines the elevator as a hyperloop for buildings. I just think it's cool. The Wall Street Journal picked this up or wrote about it, and this is in regards to the elevator that goes not only up and down but left to right. Looking forward to seeing that one when it does, debut either in a building somewhere or a new facility. Obviously, I think they're a little ways off, but still cool technology. Next news article, worker falls down elevator shaft. Another accident, DNA info in New York. In Queens, a worker was injured after falling down an elevator shaft at Flushing construction site Tuesday afternoon. He's listed to be in serious condition, but he's okay. He's going to be okay. Stable condition, I should say. God, it sounds awful. So just be careful out there. I don't know if this is, I'm assuming it was a construction worker, but obviously somebody's going to get in trouble for not having things roped off or tied off or whatnot. So, it's got to be very careful around your surroundings. Right. Bear with me one moment here. I do not know why I keep reloading this main page, but I do. Okay, in China, more great news to report. Apparently, 8 killed after construction elevator plummets from an 18th story in East China apartment building. This was a construction lift, and if you know or have ridden a construction lift, you know that sometimes you question whether or not they're safe. I've ridden on one that had literally a hole in the floor the size of, in the corner that was the size of, 2 feet, and it's like, okay, you think somebody could put a board or something over that, but not to say that they're all not safe, but just, you got to make sure you're careful. Okay, if you have not registered yet for the Chicago Elevator Association, it is fast approaching. Going to be August 5th. It is right around the corner, and get your registration in as soon as you can. They do have to get the numbers in for the Glen Eagles Country Club. Sponsorship form is there. CEA registration form is there. Go over, sign up today. Do not get left out if you don't like playing golf. Their raffle is awesome. I'm telling you, it's just cool to go to that. It's worth the money you spend just to go to the dinner if you just want to do that. And there's a separate rate for that. Okay, 8 killed. Oh, I already did that one. Okay, we don't want to rehash the obvious. Oh, man. Pop-up ads. I'm telling you. How, you like pop-up ads? Not me. I don't think anybody does, but somebody seems to think they do something. Usually top. Yeah, okay. Next article. Oh, okay, here's your tip of the day or your trivia question of the day. Where was the first escalator installed, you might ask? It was at Coney Island 120 years ago. If you take a look at this photo, come on, you can do it, website. Take a look at this photo. I imagine this thing was basically like two rollers with a belt on it that drove you, across this opening that was there. But it's still kind of cool to see the image. But yeah, it was installed at Coney Island 120 years ago, and look at where we are today. Pretty cool. Yeah, it was a conveyor belt-like device, and then it kind of changed over time, obviously, to stairs and all that good stuff. So one of the most important people movers invented for moving massive, quantities of people, which is kind of neat. That's your trivia question. You can throw that out to anybody you work with and say, hey, when was the first escalator invented or used, and where was it? Could be your question. Okay. Next news article. Is this really newsworthy? I forgot what this was exactly. Oh yeah, it's stupid. Totally stupid. I can't believe a News One website or any of these websites would pick up some and then write on it. It's a photograph that shows at the Republican National Convention. It says white elevators. Okay, it's a sign. It's just a sign. It's not a racial tension thing, and don't make more out of it than it is. Shame on you, media. Come on. It's fun to poke at it, I guess, but at the end of the day, come on. That was not the intention, and nobody can ever assume that was, and it's ridiculous that it actually gained any kind of traction. So, regardless of who you support, or how you think each of the candidates is in their whatever. I'm going to stop before I stick my foot in my mouth. Okay, next news article. Dog walker assaulted an elevator. Now, the reason why I posted this up because if you watch late night TV, okay, and I don't, but I do occasionally. I'm up past 10 o'clock with the TV on, and well, there's an ad for bankrupt. For some reason, it seems like people that don't have money or are in debt watch TV late at night. So you always see this ad, and it's been running since I was a kid. Literally, this Peter Francis Geraci. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, he's on these ads all the time, and he's like a younger version of what you see in this article in the Chicago Tribune. But it's just, I think it's so funny that I always wonder what he looked like, because I've seen his commercial. I've seen his commercials are literally 40 years old, and he's still running the same ones, just an updated phone number. He looks pretty good, actually. But anyway, point of the article here is that apparently his wife allegedly battered a dog walker in an elevator, and the jury found that she was guilty and had to award $225,000, which I think for an attorney, I think that's way to go, dog walker. That's all I can say in that. I don't know the details of the case. Peter Francis Geraci, don't come after me. But man, you know that a lawyer or an attorney in this situation would literally just throw as much money as they could at it. It went to a trial, a jury trial, and at the end of the day, he lost. Not to mention however much money he lost in legal fees, and I'm sure he's just trying to tie it up as well. So just crazy. So yeah, if you're in the Chicago area, or if maybe not, maybe if you're in a different area, maybe you get the same commercials with Peter Geraci. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. Okay, next news article. Judging one floor elevators. People have way too much freaking time on their hands. Detroit Free Press reporting, or has a, give me a break, don't load up. Stop it. There we go. You can link on this or read it, because I am going to get an ad just shoved up my rear. But somebody wrote in going to somebody at this news source. I got to get out of this. I'm sorry. Basically writing into Dear Carolyn, when I'm getting on an elevator and I see somebody ride up one floor, I judge them or something like that. I mean, come on. Give it if that's what you are concerned about, I think you need to go volunteer your time and doing something else. Okay? Okay, next news article. The SFist, or San Franciscoist news source, has a video of BART patrons, which is their transit system out there, forced to scramble over side of escalator to nowhere. Now, it should be noted that this is an escalator that's not working, although the barrier is at the bottom landing. It looks as if they did not put one at the top. I'm not quite sure why they didn't try to move the barrier, but or maybe I don't know what the deal was here, but I don't even know why. I don't really even know why it's on the news, other than the fact that it's probably a slow news day in San Francisco. So anyway, all right, and that's another thing that just gets me. I just don't understand. I'm probably the only one that read it. Anyway, police looking for jerk who attacked woman on escalator. I don't know, allegedly, I should say. He's an alleged jerk, allegedly accused of attacking and pushing a woman who fell on the escalator. Oh, that is great. That is awesome. And that little tidbit was brought to you by the jerks who shove stuff in your face. Anyway, so link is in the show notes. If you recognize this guy, you can call the cops. I don't know who would, but I love this. I love closed caption TV stuff because it typically catches people really quickly. Okay, firefighters rescued 16 who were stalled in the Skylon elevator. I believe this is in Toronto, and I could be wrong. I should know this, but I don't. Yeah, Niagara Falls. Man, more pop-ups. I gotta get the pop-up block app thingy. Man, drives me absolutely nuts. Everybody's okay. This is the same kind of tower that I've seen in the Tower of America. It's very similar to that one, where they've had issues as well. Okay, some exciting news from the Chicago Elevator Association. They've raised $4,000 for some awesome scholarships. Congratulations to the winners of last year's scholarship and to everybody who supported the event. Thanks to Jerry Adams Elevator Equipment, for providing photos. If you'd like to see them, click on the links and you can see the great, cool time everybody had. I don't think anybody really came away as a main winner, but I think there was some winning to be done. So pretty cool. I want to thank Cornelius Walls, Chris and Tom for their work on making that event happen, and I'm proud to be part of that as well. So way to go, Chicago Elevator Association. Right, next news article is the last one, actually. If you are tired of the presidential campaign, enjoy this, because I think Trevor Noah sums it up pretty well. He's a South African comedy guy, and I watched this the other night on, I think it was TBS, whatever channel his show is on, and I was like, wow, he just hit it. And granted, it's, he's poking fun, and it's not all bleak and bad as you might imagine, but it's just a different, funny take on it, where you're going to see, him ripping apart, both candidates as a, just as an outsider, and providing advice to, to the United States and us as Americans and what we should do with the election. So enjoy that. I'm tired about the presidential campaign for sure, and the media is just eating it all up. That's all I can say, just totally eating it up. And we'll see what happens in November. But at the end of the day, the president is just the president. He, it's still a job. It's an important job. I wouldn't want it for $1 million, but I just hope that, what we see in the next 4 years or the 4 years after this election doesn't get worse. And I'm not quite sure how it could, but, man, it's just so ugly and nasty, and just, man, I don't remember or recall an election campaign like this, and it's just, it's yucky. That's all I can say. Anyway, well, that's going to do it for today's show, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me today. And again, next week there will be no show. Don't look for it. And I'll let you know how my unplugging vacation goes, and how long it lasts, and whether or not I get a chance to actually rest and relax. I'm looking forward to it. So everybody be safe out there. Stay cool and stay hydrated. We will talk to you in about 2 weeks, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.